Hello, everybody. It says this webinar is on the air. Sorry we're a few minutes late here. We've been messing around with an echo that we were having. And Sandy, I see your hand up. Carol, I tried to click you across. Yeah, I don't know if it's happening or not. Maybe it is happening. Or maybe you just got booted off. I have no idea. I have no way to know right now, but we're trying. So welcome, everybody. Let me start off by saying we just heard that Craig made it to L1. Craig's not confirming or denying that, but Bill says it's posted.
I have not seen that, but my girl may have signed up last night on her own. Didn't tell me.
Isn't that customers have a way of doing that sometimes? They just don't tell you what they're doing.
Where did you see that posted at, Bill?
Clive made it.
You did too?
Chris, talk to us.
Clive made it.
Clive. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Chris, you said you had something you wanted to tell us.
Yeah, I want to share some results that a gal got over a 2-week period. And she did nothing but the 555 method, going into some of the bigger groups. She did not specify which ones, but you know there's a bunch of leaders out there that you can go into their groups. Big leaders. So her first week, she talked to 100 people.
Chris,
60, yeah.
Can I stop you? There are some people on the webinar that they have no clue what the 555 method is.
Would you like me to tell?
Yeah, could you do that? Sure, please.
Okay, this is a brief overview of the 555. You spend 5 minutes sending out messages, but you know, I don't know if this is the pure 555 because she was going into, so let's not call it the 555.
Okay.
Because she was going into the groups. So,
okay.
The first week, she talked to 100 people, sent messages to 100 people. 67 responded. 15 went on her list. 7 people went on the 10-day trial. She got 1 mastery member out of it, and he also bought Instamagic.
Cool.
That was week number 1. Week number 2, she had some things going on. So she talked to 31 responses, 3 on her newsletter, and 3 wanted the Instagram with the cheat sheet. So the second week wasn't quite as bad, but look at that overall, and the responses she got, the percentage is very high. So I was excited about that because if she can do it, we can all do it.
Yeah. It's a matter of digging in and making those connections, isn't it?
Yep.
Cool.
So that was what I wanted to report.
All right. That's neat. Well, I got a couple more people looking at MLSP right now. I've got one mastery member, and I'm at 5 points, so not quite as far along as Craig, but I'm going to catch up, Craig. So how you doing, Bill?
It's the same status.
Are you dry down there, or are you flooded?
No flooding. We're high and dry. We didn't have a problem. Pearland got about half the rain that the bad portion of Houston got. We got about 5.5 inches.
Okay.
Instead of 11.
Only 5.5 inches. Well, lucky you.
Yeah, the problem we've got right now, we've got a lot of river flooding, especially up in Austin, San Antonio, Austin area. It's coming down on the Brazos, and it's flooding down here now.
Okay. All right. Was everybody or anybody on the webinar last night?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me do a quick screen share here. So I went ahead, and I'll post this up in the group. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can see the 16 advantages of using MLSP.
Yes.
Okay. I went ahead and typed that all up in a nice, neat little worksheet, and I gave Lisa credit because that comes from her. So I didn't want to pretend like this was my idea. So I went ahead and typed this up into the spreadsheet. And if you folks were mostly on the webinar, what I will do is I will post this in the Lunch with Len group. So it'll be out there, okay? But let me just run down it really briefly and see, does anybody have any questions about any of these things or any comments? I think we all understand, I think everybody understands $100 a month. And again, we do have a couple people on the webinar who are not in MLSP, so I'm going to make a very just brief comment if you don't mind. That is if you join MLSP at the mastery level and you bring other people in, then you get $100 a month that you bring in. My echo came back again suddenly. It's interesting. Okay, and then there's also upsells, like you mentioned that somebody bought InstaBizBuilder or InstaMagic or something. So there are also other products that sometimes when people join, they buy, and there's up to $1,500 worth of front-end upsells. Then there's also the standalone products that you get. There's 27 of them that you can earn 100% commission on that you can sell, and that commission ranges from $5 to $477 depending on the product. And I don't have any examples of those products off the top of my head, but there's 27 of them out there. In the marketing vaults, there are 7 years of coaching and webinars and things that you have access to as a Mastery member. There's the weekly What's Working Now workshops and the daily wake-up calls and other trainings throughout the week. 13 pre-made high-converting lead magnets, funnels that new people can use. For example, the Facebook cheat sheet, the Instagram cheat sheet funnels that you can use and give away to people. There are swipe copies out there that you can use to put up on social media or email to your list. You can promote your own business. Now, MLSP is a lead generation and training platform. It is not a business opportunity, so you can promote your own business, up to 3 of them. And this is something that I didn't know, that I wasn't aware that we could promote 3 businesses simultaneously. I'd actually not looked at that. So that was something new for me, that we can actually do 3 businesses. You can add your own team training if you're building a team in an MLM company. There's a built-in storefront where there's other products, not the 100% commission products mentioned up here, but there's other products that you can earn commissions on. And I am going pretty rapidly, again, because I know many of you have seen this, but just for the folks that haven't, you have pre-written autoresponder sequences that you can load into your own autoresponder, and that means you can send automatically generated messages to potential clients and customers. There's the Contact Resource Manager, where you can keep track of the people that you talk to and their status, and just keep lots of notes on them. So when you talk to them, you remember that, well, I talked to you 2 weeks ago, and gee, your daughter was getting ready to go away to college. How did all that work out? So you can really remember what your people were doing. There's the funnelizer, that you can make your own capture pages and sales pages, etc. And if you don't know what a capture page or a sales page is, that's all right. You'll learn. There's built-in targeting in the campaigns, so you can do tracking on the campaigns and know who's landed on your pages and retarget them. That's a pretty advanced concept. You can also store video, audio, and images on MLSP, so you don't really need Vimeo or any of the other video storage places, for example. You can store them on MLSP. And finally, there's QR scanning codes. And I know what QR codes are. I use them in send-out cards. I've never used them in MLSP, but they're there in all the campaigns. So that's just a real quick reading down through that list. And like I said, I will post that list on in the group so that everybody can have the printed copy of it. While I've got you here, I'm going to take you real quick to Facebook just for a second, and just show you a couple other things that I've been doing out there. Um, I'm going to my fan page, and here we go. The webinar, was it last week? Anyhow, the webinar last week, I've been running more likes campaigns than I had in the past, running them more consistently, and you can see, for example, I've got 12 page likes, and then if you just hover over the page likes, you can see who liked your page this week, and then you can go down and you can message these people. Now, you can't always private message them. So for example, with Alex, my message went to his other folder because I'm not directly connected to him. With Susan, there is actually a degree of connection between us, and so my message went right into her inbox. But what I did with Alex and was that I created a message right here. I'm gonna go searching for it, but I created a post right here on Facebook, and I thanked him for liking my page and told him that I had sent a message, and it went to his other folder. So if he would look there, he would find it, and that we could connect. So I've been following up over here with these people that are liking my page. So I have these likes campaigns running, and I've also got the page likes campaigns running. And if anybody has any questions about doing those things, so here's my page likes campaign, and it got 4 likes today, for example. I started a new one yesterday, and it got 4 likes today. So that's pretty cool. I spent $1.27 and got 4 page likes so far. So all that stuff is moving forward. It's working out, and let me get rid of this. They stopped the share, and I'm back.
That reach is nice, Lynn.
Pardon me?
That reach is nice.
Yeah.
2,100.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a matter of keeping on. All this stuff works, and we just have to be patient with it and run out there and sow the seeds and wait for the harvest. It's coming. It's coming, guys. I believe it. I really believe it's coming. So I thought that Lisa Torres's webinar last night, I thought it was really interesting. There were 2 other things about Lisa. And by the way, I shot a message off to Lisa today and invited her to join us on Lunch with Len next Tuesday. I haven't gotten an answer back yet, so love to chat with her a little bit. But there were 2 or 3 other things about Lisa that I found really fascinating. One is she's building an MLM, and frankly, I don't know which one. I didn't look. Chris, you probably know. You seem to know all this stuff. Do you know what MLM she's building? Not that it's important, but...
No.
Okay. Anyhow, she is building an MLM.
I think she's in a company that starts with an E and the second one is N.
Empire?
Yeah.
No, yeah, she certainly at least was in Empire. Whether she's still there or not, I don't know. Yeah, but anyhow, one of the things that I found fascinating about her is that you can't get on her MLM team unless you are a mastery member in MLSP. She makes that a requirement, which I found to be really fascinating. And the reason I find it to be fascinating is how many times do we run up against the I don't have any extra money to spend objection, and there really are a lot of people that are short of cash. So they have to pony up the cash to get into the fundamental MLM itself, and she's telling them that they have to also be in mastery, and she's leading with mastery. She's getting them into MLSP first, leading with mastery, getting them started there, and then bringing them into her MLM. And I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I have gone back and forth on whether to lead with the MLM or lead with MLSP. And
that's taking that posture.
Yeah. So she's being very successful with that, leading with MLSP.
Have you looked at the leaderboard lately? The Victory team is all over the place back there.
What is the Victory team?
The Victory team. That's her team.
Is it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, also she's really way up there with the Ray Higdon launch, product launch. So that's pretty intriguing too. The other thing that I found really interesting, and boy, this dropped out in the questions. It wasn't in her primary presentation last night, but in the questions, it came out that she's actually getting her leads off of Instagram and then bringing them over to Facebook. She's leading, so her method is to lead with Instagram, bring them into Facebook for communication, close them into MLSP, and then take them on into her primary business, whatever that is, whether it's Empire or whatever it is. So I thought that was interesting. The other thing that's interesting is that how many weeks has she been in MLSP this time? 7 weeks?
7. Yep.
And she's got 80 plus people in?
Yep.
Now, I think the message there is that she's got close to 20 years of experience and 17 years of making $20. So, I mean, she's paid her dues. And that's one of the things that a lot of us tend to forget is that we see these what appear to be overnight instant success stories. Oh, she's only been in MLSP for 7 months, 7 weeks, and brought in 80 people. My God, how do you do that? Well, you spend 17 years getting ready to do it. That's how you do it. So that's a very unusual. This taken by itself, it sounds like a very unusual result. But taking in the whole of people that get involved in this kind of business, several years of getting started is not unusual. There are no overnight instant successes. 17 years might be a little bit on the long side, but several years is not. So anyhow, anybody have any comments about any of that stuff, or want to talk about it, or etc.? Nobody? Nobody have anything they want to say? Okay. Well, be that way. Be that way.
I thought it was a great webinar last night. She really inspired me. I mean,
Yeah.
just the persistency that she did in the beginning. I mean, most of us wouldn't be able to endure that, but I thought it was great because once you do figure it out and put all the pieces together, I mean, once you've done that, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the other thing that struck me in her conversation, you notice that she emphasized it was a very subtle. She didn't, but it was always there. She had a vision, and she was not going to quit until she got to where she wanted to go, whatever it took. If it took 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, she wasn't going to give up. The whole idea of really creating that vision and starting with a vision and driving toward it relentlessly. So I thought that was really huge. I really enjoyed her webinar last night. I thought it was great. So Sandy, I assume you can hear me. Were you on the webinar last night? Is this am I covering old territory now, or Carol? We could comment in the chat. Anyhow, that's all I had today. I didn't know how many people were on last night and whether we'd end up having more conversation or not. I thought it was worth going over some of that stuff. I'm going to work on having a guest for us on Tuesday. I'm not sure who it is yet, but I'm working on it. And that's it.
I'm glad you did the document because I missed a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
As soon as we hang up, I'll post it in the chat, and if you don't, or I'm sorry, I'll post it in the Lunch with Len group. And if you don't see it in the group, it's because I went to the coffee pot and the coffee was cold, so I reheated my coffee, and we know how that goes. So just remind me, where's the list, Len? It means I forgot about it. You know, I tend to be somewhat, I don't know if you know this about me, but I tend to be somewhat dyslexic. I just sort of wander off and completely forget what I was doing. All right, so that's all I had for you today. This is Thursday. There is no Profit with Len tonight. That webinar series is over. And by the way, did everybody get an email reminder for today's webinar? This one?
Yes.
Yes. That should be working. That should be working now. And I think I understand why we had such poor attendance with the Profit with Len series. Nobody was getting email reminders.
Cher is trying to talk me into coming to Live to Green again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, dig in, roll up your sleeves, and get a couple more mastery members, and then you'll feel like you can afford it. You can do it. You can do it, Chris. We can all do it. We just gotta keep on keeping on.
Hey, Craig, are my videos getting any better?
Yeah, you're doing great. Just keep doing them.
One suggestion I would make, and if you're ready for it, is to try to get some more light on you. You're dark, can't see you. You agree, Craig?
Okay, well, take a look at the last 2 days because I rearranged the office over the weekend.
Okay.
On Monday, and I think they're a little bit lighter now.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. I will do that.
Look, it looks like you're fighting a light coming through a window or something. It's like it's whitewashing you a little bit.
Okay, so maybe I have too much light now.
I don't know. I'll have to look at your recent ones.
The one yesterday was me. Today I got a screen share, but
Okay, I'll look. I don't think I saw the one you did yesterday yet, but I will.
So are they on your wall?
No,
Chris?
Craig and I are in a 90-day challenge that Lisa Thompson started.
Yeah. But you're also putting them on your Facebook page or your fan page, right?
My fan page, yeah.
Okay. And that is Chris Schaus.
Yeah.
Is that all? Just Chris Schaus, or is there a...
Chris Schaus won because Chris Schaus was taken, believe it or not.
Chris Schaus, probably. You mean there's two of you? Oh my God.
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think there actually is. There's a rapper or something.
Did you ever get your fan page hooked up to your profile page?
No, I can't make it work.
I don't know why.
I don't either.
We'll have to do a screen share sometime and we'll work on that.
All right. That works.
Okay. Well, I struggle with that quite a bit too. It is non-trivial because Facebook keeps throwing roadblocks at you. But I finally got it to work, and I remember. I don't remember what I had to do to make it work, but I finally got it to work.
Are you on Skype, Craig?
Me?
Craig.
I have Skype. I've only used it a couple of times. I usually do a Google Hangout, but I can do Skype too.
Is it Craig Kassler over there? You know, I use Chris Schaus everywhere, so I hardly ever have Skype up, but Sharon, I've been doing some screen shares on Skype, and they're pretty easy to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I found out the other day that, in fact, I think it might have been Cher that showed me that. I'm not sure, but screen shares on Skype are really easy. I didn't know it was there. I didn't know that feature was there.
I didn't either, and they're pretty clear.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through the hassle of setting up a Hangout.
Carol is asking when the next meeting is over in the chat.
Well, it's Tuesday. Tuesday, Carol. Can you hear me? Tuesday at 11:30. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday. We generally try to have a guest on Tuesday, and then sort of a review on Thursday. So that's what we do. Subject to change without notice. No, well, the thing that's subject to change is what the agenda is, not the days. Tuesday and Thursday, 11:30. Alrighty, I'll connect up with you, Carol. We'll try to figure out what's going on with your computer.
Okay, guys.
I just put over in the chat for you, Chris, what my Skype is.
I can't. The chat isn't moving for me. The last thing I see was from Carol. It said IOL over copy or question marks.
Huh, okay. Well, mine is just Craig.Castler and then the number 1.
Yes. Okay. I'll go look for you in a little while.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, is that it?
That's it.
See ya. See you at the beach. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.